Hello travelers, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to Yingde. The trip is from Shenzhen to Yingde by driving. The whole process takes about 3.5 hours. I'm not going to Yingde town center yet because it's 10:30 in the morning and it takes about 3.5 hours to get there. So that means when we arrive there, it will be lunchtime. So instead of going to a town center, we'll be arriving at this fish restaurant. Please do check out this lunch menu we're gonna have later, because in my opinion, for those of you who try to do a keto diet or carnivore diet when you're on holiday, this can be a very good option because it's pure meat and nothing else, no carbohydrates, no rice and everything. Bear with me as we are leaving my car park in Shenzhen. It's gonna be a long drive. I tried to trim the video as little as possible because at the first half of the video or the trip is not gonna be much to see. The view is going to come in at the second half of the video because for those of you who doesn't really understand or familiar with China, Shenzhen and Yingde, they both are in Guangdong province. We're in the south part of the China, and Shenzhen is near the sea, it's close to the sea, so that's why we are next to Hong Kong. But Yingde is completely different. Yingde is surrounded by mountains. So first half of our video is going to be highway driving, but when we reach the second half, you will start to see some beautiful mountains and views and everything. The reason being I choose Yingde as the part of the destination is, first of all, Yingde is famous for their black tea. The tea is called a Yingde number 9. Yingde, that is the same pronunciation as hero in Chinese. So Yingde means hero. But what does number 9 means? Well, I did some research and they got many different stories or rumors or myths about this black tea. Well, they are tasty and they smell really good and they're very smooth to drink. One of the versions provided by Grok, the AI tool, is they used to be called Yingde number 17. And it's from 1950 or something, when the Guangdong Tea Institute, they are producing the Yingde number 17, and Yingde 17 got success, and then they changed the name to number 9. Reason being, in Chinese culture, number 9 is a long-lasting number. If you find a chance to go to Forbidden City, Beijing, you get into Forbidden City, find one of the big gates, entrance, the red one with the golden knock on it. The total knock on each side of the door is 81. It's 9 by 9 times 9, 81. So vertical, you count it, is always 9. Because Chinese people believe number 10 is the end, so they always stick to number 9. Even though in some north part of the China, even though some of the people, especially the old people, they prefer to have their birthday on the 9th. What I mean by that is, For example, if your grandmother, who is 88 years old, well, no offense, grandmother or grandfather, same thing. So if they're 88 years old, next year they'll be 89. So they had the 89th birthday. The year after that, when they're gonna have their 90th birthday, most of the old people they don't want it, because they might thinking, oh, this is gonna be the end because it's reached number 10. Right, that's the story about the tea. Another story is Yingde, some part of the Yingde, they still remains, the city looks like, or some building looks like from 1960, 17, 80. I was born in the 80s, so I've got quite strong feeling about this kind of building, because when I was young, everything we know, for example, the TV we watch, some documentary watch, newspaper, and the magazine, they still got a lot of this kind of shadow around. So when I first went to Yingde, I was curious, because the city, actual Yingde city, the town center, the actual town, is divided by two parts. One is called New Town, one is called Old Town, or the local call it Shenzhen, which is the Old Town. The Yingde's city government, they planned to renew the Old Town since, I think, at least 15 years ago. And some of this kind of building has been knocked down. For example, when I was there, I think 5 years ago, yeah, I was walking down, because I love old town and old traditional Chinese architectures. Give you an idea, it's like a building, probably 2 or 3 level high, and they got a huge star, like a red star on top of it. I find it very interesting. So 5-6 years ago, I was there walking down Shenzhen with my camera. I don't have any purpose, I just like walking around, and then in the crossroad there's a corner with a building, it's rounded. I look at them, it's like, this is interesting. It's kind of big, because I will show you next video, most of the house or the property in Shenzhen at the moment, they're all like small one next to another one next to another one. But this one's huge. And they got this facade, it was fascinating. And then I asked the locals, what was here? And it goes, oh, this was a theater, a movie theater. I was like, wow, how long was back there? And they went like, oh, when they were young, they all went to this theater to watch movie, which is like 30 years ago. Now it's completely abandoned. But when I went back there last year, the building was gone. And the local says it's been knocked down for quite some times. Because city has to move on. I mean, like urban planning wise, you cannot have a city which is remain the same like forever. Yeah, so that's the reason why I choose Yingde, because even though when I was traveled to Guangzhou, I always wanted to get into the old town and old area. If you look at the window frame, for example, you can imagine, or you can even see and you can feel it. It's telling a story. People used to live there, people used to laugh in there, people used to have a hard time in there, and they always have a story. So my interest is going to this kind of old town and record as much as I could before like, I don't know, probably 5 years later, it will be like brand new, huge modern building built up. Right, and also in this trip, you see we are now reaching a bit north, closing to Yingde, because the mountains and the trees are starting getting more and more. When we exit this tunnel, later on we'll be reaching the service station. It's a compact facility, like near all of the Chinese highway. It depends, maybe every 10 kilometer up to every 30 to 50 kilometer we have one of these service stations. It's compact of petrol station, charging station, restaurant, toilets, convenience store, and everything. People can have a short break there. For the truck driver, they can even have a shower there. At the service area by the highway, you see. We are driving from Shenzhen to Yingde this time. Just had this service area to have a short break. Also, I found this counter in here with selling some local products. So we've got lemon slice, rice, a lot of rice. This is a convenience store, and then at the front you've got loads of parking space. The blue one is for the trucks and the lorries, the big vehicle. And the small vehicles and cars, everything, just goes further down. Like in China, alongside the highway, you find this kind of service stop, like, how to say, every 10 kilometers, some of them are 20. And further down, you will see a petrol station along with it. It's all compact. With a restaurant, toilet, convenience store, and a petrol station. And most of them, at the back of the petrol station, I don't know if they have it here, there should be a charging area too for the electronic vehicle. I try to walk down there and see if there's a charging area. Just bear with me. I mean, I do apologize for my last video where I was shooting from Guangzhou to Shenzhen, where I was using a GoPro's internal mic. The quality was really bad. This is the area for the charging for the electronic vehicle, for the charge station. Okay, that's about it. I'm going to head back to my car and then we'll continue the journey to Yingde. Talk to you guys later. Right, we left the service station and we keep going up to north. Now when you see there's more mountains surrounded the road. The big mountain ahead is where we need to go. Yingde, like a bit further from Yingde is Shaoguan. Shaoguan, from my memory, is one of the first city you will reach when you're coming from north of China to Guangdong. Because I remember when my parents told me, when they were young, they will always have like in the winter, autumn, winter, they will always have their jacket. The place where they're going to put on and put off the jacket is when the train arrived Shaoguan. Because Shaoguan is so north, the temperature is reaching more or less the same as the north, like the middle part of the China. But if you go a bit south, reach Guangdong, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, there's no winter. I'm telling you, there's no winter. The reason being, they've got this huge mountain in Shaoguan, surrounded Shaoguan, and it's protecting Guangdong. While protecting might not be the right term to say it, it's blocking all the cold breeze from the north. So because of those mountains, in autumn or even though winter, we are not very cold in here. Like you might have, let's say, 2 weeks of like really cold day. Really cold means 5 degrees, something like that. And maximum 2 weeks. I will have my down jacket taken out of the wardrobe every year for a week maximum. Normally in winter, I'm just goes on with a sweater, and that's enough. Or worse, if I need to do some sport, I will have a t-shirt underneath. So when I'm going gym and everything, I will just take off the sweater and then leave the t-shirt when finished and put the sweater back. Right. Also on the mountain, you will see a lot of this kind of power generator fan. I don't know if you can see it from the screen. If you cannot, I'm sorry, I do apologize. I think it's about time for me to upgrade my GoPro too. But let's do it bit by bit. Now we are reaching Movavi toll gate. That means it's not far from the fish restaurant. I try to do carnivore diet, but it's difficult to achieve. Not because of the food I'm eating, but most my concern is about the ingredients, things like soy sauce, oyster sauce, this kind of things. They contain a lot of like sugars and everything. So I'm more into carnivore / keto diet at the moment. I'll show you the menu and the food from this restaurant, and it will be very suitable for the people who try to do this kind of diet. Hello travelers, and we arrived at this It's a fish restaurant outside Yingde. Why we are coming here is because this restaurant is quite unique. They've got their own fish tank, not tanks, fish pond. You see inside here, I don't know if you can see, it's all the fish. I will zoom out a little bit. They've got all the fish in there. They've got their own fish farm, so all the fish you're gonna have in the restaurant is all from here. I don't know if you can see it, fish are quite clever. When they see someone is approaching, they will just swim away. In this restaurant, you can do carnivore and keto diet because the fish are big and you just need to eat the meat, and they cook it in a very simple way. That means all the additional stuff on it. I try to put my camera a bit closer to the fish without approaching it because I do not want to scare them. Yeah, I'm currently doing a slightly not so strict carnivore and keto diet. For the recent 8 months, I skipped rice and noodles and all this carbohydrate stuff. Well, normally people might think in Chinese diet is all involve heavy carbohydrate, but some of these dishes you can actually do it without them because you can just eat the meat from the fish. Oh yeah, they also have their own chicken farm. I can show you later. And you can just have fish and chicken, just pure meat, which is like slightly healthier than the normal Chinese diet. If I walk a bit further, they've got their own lake. It's not a big one, and a small fish pond here. Right. Now this is their chicken farm. They've got chicken and duck, and we've got a goose. Let me see the goose. That's a goose over there. So when you place order, if it's fish, they just took it from the fish pond. If it's chicken, they just took it from here. Personally, I don't eat goose. I don't eat goose. And that's a story. In the future, if we have opportunity, I will share with you. But after that incident, I stopped eating goose. Right, here comes the dish. It's the fish. Next one is the chicken. And the next one it should be the bamboo. And we have the soup. To use all the meat to cook the fish, and we use the remaining to cook the soup. We are arriving in Yingde, in the Black Tea Museum. I will show you the old town on my next video.